Just walk away. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.
So I went out tonight with a friend, and it was the first time I'd gone out in a long time since I've been back in the Great White North of Canada, my roots, so to speak, since I came back from the equator, Indonesia. And I decided that I would take a taxi home instead of the bus, because I ran out of time. We had some drinks, we saw my friends play music, old friends catch up, and the taxi driver that picked me up as we're driving home, you know, I like to talk to people. You know, I like to ask questions. How are you doing? Where are you from? How long you been here? That kind of thing. Especially when you come back to your place of origin after so many years, and you just kind of want to know, like, how have things been? What have you been doing? How have things changed? You see it for yourself, but you would like to hear it from other people. And this poor old taxi driver, he must have been maybe 15, 20 years my senior, said, well, he went on a very sad tale. He started to speak of this very sad tale of him coming here in the 70s, 80s, with a wife and children, and losing that wife, and then remarrying, and having more children with a second wife, and losing all of those children. I mean, this is a sad, sad tale he told me. I can't reproduce the entire story. I don't think I need to. For anybody that has listened to not just my channel, but any MGTOW channel or men's rights channel or channel of truth, I listened to this poor man's sad story of all these children he can't see, and him lamenting about one child that sometimes talks to him, and these women that just ditched him and found other men who could provide better for them, and taking his children away from him. And it's a story that you hear so many goddamn times, man. How many times do I have to hear this story and have lived through it? I'm biting my tongue because I'm thinking to myself, I have my kid here, you know, and I told him my story, but I didn't say, haha, I won, I got my kid in this other country because of loopholes that revolve around a corrupt nation. I bit my tongue. I didn't say that. I wanted to hear his story. Here in the land of the free, North America, and this man being an immigrant from Europe. It was the saddest story I've heard in a long time, man. And the last video I posted was about a friend of mine who's from here, and his story was sad enough. But I started to think to myself, this is universal. The pain of men being completely disenfranchised and disregarded out of fatherhood because women are allowed that ability. I'm sick and tired of women saying that they have no rights when they have every right to not only choose who they reproduce with, but choose who they dispose, and have the state decide that Why don't you just disregard the father and live another life and be someone else? I am sick and fucking tired of hearing how women are oppressed. Are you kidding me? The point of the human race is to reproduce. If we didn't reproduce, we wouldn't exist to even argue about this fact. And 100% of the power of reproduction of the human species is in the fucking frail hands of women. And from all countries and cultures. How many countries do you have to live in? How many women do you have to marry and have children with and get divorced with before you fucking understand this? I am sick and tired of hearing it. I have heard some of the most horrible stories of men trying to make a living and being a father to their children and getting shut down by a woman who says, nah, I want to do something else. Go fuck yourself. And watching the rest of society support her and throw him to the fodder. I'm sick and tired of seeing men building skyscrapers, digging mines, digging mines for diamonds that women want. I'm sick and tired of men being fodder for the fucking passing fancies of women in any society. Whether it be Canada, America, Bolivia, Australia, Sweden, or fucking the Middle East, where everybody says women are oppressed. And if you've seen my videos about that, then good for you. But if you haven't, go fuck yourself. Women are not oppressed there. They still have the same fucking power, the same authority, the same goddamn authority to simply disregard any man that's fathered her children on a whim and walk away from it and be better off. Well, men suffer and continually try to find the children that they fathered and beg, can I please say that this is my child, that I know that I've reproduced and this is my DNA, my child. The only thing men have is like, can I give it my last name so at least I know it's mine? When the child's born, it comes right out of the fucking woman's cunt, pushes right out, slides right out. There's the child that comes from that woman. What does the man have? Well, I fucking hope that's my kid. I hope that's my sperm that made that kid come to life. I am so sick and tired of this bullshit of women saying that they are somehow oppressed. Women reproduce the planet. Men try their best and in most instances fail. They fail to reproduce. Even an ugly fat woman reproduces. An ugly fat man does not. He's gone. He's finished. He's done. Your DNA is finished. You are not going to have a child that bears your name. This game has to end. It has to end, and it has to end quickly. I don't know how it's going to happen. And I'm only saying this now because of my taxi drive with this taxi driver that told me his story of coming, immigrating to the land of the free in Canada as an immigrant, and having his wife leave him and tear his children away from him, even back in the fucking 70s. What has changed? What the fuck has changed? It's 2017. Nothing has changed. Men are still going through the same shit. women are methodically and by the will of the state they exist in destroying family life, and they're laughing about it, and they're spreading their legs at an alarming rate. They're painting their faces with so much makeup that it would put Avon to shame. And they're still saying they're oppressed? I'm sorry. There's no more quarter to give. No quarter for women. Not in the MGTOW arena. That's why I am MGTOW, and why people like I spoke to, like the taxi driver I spoke to, need to learn about these concepts. Men are the slowest fucking animals on the planet when it comes to understanding the fucking manipulation of a woman's mind and how the state supports it. That's why I'm MGTOW. And that's why you should be too, if you're listening to this. And that's why this is not over. Not in the least. And that's why the MRAs, for all the work they've done, they haven't fucking changed anything. Be safe, be wise, be MGTOW, my brothers. This was just a random process of thought. Good night.